Steel boots stomping, crashing the floor. Two wild Yinzers kicking through the door. Loud like a jag-off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. From the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two dumb Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. This is episode 802 of the Two Dumb Yinzers. I want to say good morning, everybody, and happy Labor Day. Yeah, happy Labor Day, Michael.
Happy Labor Day. Once again, brother, you got me working on the holiday.
That's what it's all about, man. Labor Day is all about working, so we got you in here today. Good morning, everybody. It's Jets week, Mike. It's official. It is officially football season. This is Jets week. The guys get back to practice today. We do take a trip up in about 6 days. I see, as you have on the title of the show today, we take a trip up to New Jersey to take on the New York Jets to kick off the season in somewhat of an interesting game, like where the quarterbacks just switch teams and they face each other at the beginning of the season in the first game. So I think it's going to be I think the storylines are going to be big this year for the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers, of course, the new Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback, somebody that I didn't think would ever be a Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback, but here we go. Mike, we're heading into week one with the Jets, and Aaron Rodgers is our quarterback.
Who would have thought? You know, like you said, I never thought I'd see the day I would see Aaron Rodgers in the black and gold, and it's kind of weird to where, you know, we have, like you said, both quarterbacks both teams just swapped quarterbacks without even a trade happening. I find that very funny, and revenge week. Maybe for both quarterbacks. But like Aaron Rodgers said, it's 1 of 17. And that's how you have to view the game. And I'm ready to go, man. We finally have real Steeler football just at the end of this tunnel.
All the speculation is done. All the small talk is over. The tire hits the road, Mike. Today is the day. It is officially the beginning of Jets week. We got a lot of things going on today. Glad you could join us, everybody. Welcome back to the show. It is episode 802 of the Two Dumb Yinzers. Good morning. Coming with the utmost class that we possibly can. Mike, a couple of things I want to say that went down over the weekend. Of course, Ribfest is everybody's favorite, but also there was a couple football games that went on, and also there was the Savannah Bananas. The Savannah Bananas, Mike, they drew 80,000 people to come see them at PNC Park Friday and Saturday night. It was amazing time. Special guests, I guess. I didn't think these were that amazing of special guests, but the special guests were Freddie Sanchez and Jack Wilson. But I guess that one of the highlights of the night was Mr. Beast showed up.
Yeah.
And he gave away $110,000 total, I guess. And one person, they actually, the way they got their money was this. He would give that person $50,000 if they would go to every single Pirate game the rest of the year, which is cool and unusual. But
yeah, I was about to say, man, that's in violation of U.S. law, international law, the Geneva Conventions.
But anyway, you slice it. It was pretty cool. And people, it was a big event. The guys from the Bananas were down at the hospitals and everything else, just doing all kind of good things in town when they were here, Mike. And I think it was they, from what they say, again, I mean, they may say this in every city, but they said this was the biggest one, the biggest crowd reaction to the show that they do. So good for them, good for the Savannah Bananas, good for Pittsburgh again, and also Mike, the Rib Fest. Unfortunately, I didn't make it down to Rib Fest, but I would love to go to Rib Fest. I love ribs. And then finally, Mike, there was a meaningful football game between a couple of teams that it might not be so meaningful for. These two teams haven't played each other in 69 years on the North Shore, Mike. It went down over the weekend in the city game. The Duquesne Dukes traveled to Acrisure Stadium to play the Pitt Panthers, and the Duquesne Dukes are actually located closer than to Acrisure Stadium than the Pitt Panthers, Mike. The game went as well as planned for any Pitt Panther fan as the Panthers win this game 61-9 with DeMar Hamlin as the special honorary captain for this game. Big day. It was at home. A lot of fans, a lot of fan type things. Pitt Panthers, Mike, not only winning this game 61-9, but on College Game Day they were called a playoff dark horse. Hey, you know what? I'll take that. I'll take it. Just stop right there. I don't want to hear anything else.
Yep.
All I heard was they said that Pitt is a college dark horse. I'm going to leave it at that. Pitt, Pitt also hosts Central Michigan next Saturday at noon. The other team from Pennsylvania, Mike, Penn State, your squad, they ended up winning 46-11 over Nevada in this football game. And the only thing that stinks about this win to me, I think, was the fact that Ohio State's probably going to jump Penn State because of everything else that we're going to get into in just a second. But again, Penn State wins big. No real concern from anything that I saw, Mike.
No. They look pretty good. You can tell it was like their first game. Hey, this is why you schedule the cupcakes, baby. We'll work out any issues you need to work out. Smart planning by Penn State, baby.
Or plan a tough game like Ohio State win and bump up to number one. I mean, come on.
No.
We want to do that.
No. See, Penn State knows the higher we get up, the worse we play. So we schedule the cupcakes. We drop down in the rankings. So then when we get into the meat of the schedule, we'll play better.
Somebody compared these two coaches to me, Mike Tomlin and James Franklin. And these are your two favorite teams. I don't know. Is there any correlation between these two coaches?
I don't know. Mike Tomlin's won a Super Bowl. James Franklin has not won a college football championship.
Well, besides that, I'm sure that's not what they were talking about. I think we all
they can't break through and win the big ones. Like James Franklin, we struggle against Michigan. We struggle against Ohio State. But apparently, playoff wins don't count anymore as big games in college football. So yes, James Franklin cannot win big games, even though he won 2 playoff games.
All right.
But he can't win the big one.
I don't watch. I don't really care. But again, somebody was comparing those two names. I thought it was interesting. I immediately seen the correlation. I didn't automatically think one guy won a Super Bowl and one guy never won a national championship. I immediately picked up on what was being put down. And again, Mike, we will see. We will see as the season goes on. That's why they play the games. They will have to play the tough teams eventually. And, that's where it all gets ironed out. Guys, welcome back to the show. And a lot of other things, Mike. Also, Ohio State, they did win, Mike. And as I said, they're more than likely, if it hasn't happened already, they're probably going to jump Penn State. They were number 3 before the game against number 1 Texas. They win this game 14-7. More than likely going to put Ohio State back up, which I did call last week when you said that that wasn't going to happen. I did say Ohio State would beat this team, Mike. But I think the big story is that the kid getting his second start in college. Mr. Arch Manning, Mike, could you keep him as far away from our team as possible?
Hey, you don't bet against a Manning.
Can you? I don't even want him on my. I don't even want him on my pickup football team after what I seen. It was like Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite. I don't know what the hell was happening, but I do want to say this: as bad as it was, Mike, it was not as bad as Peyton Manning's first start in college. Mike, again, this against the Washington State football team. Peyton Manning goes 7 for 14 for 79 yards, no touchdowns. Where Arch Manning in his first start, he had one last year. It's actually kind of complicated to explain the whole situation.
Yeah.
But Arch Manning's numbers were 17 for 30, 170 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. So basically, the same kind of game that Peyton Manning played in his first game against Washington State, not the number one Ohio State, with the Ohio State defense in Ohio State Stadium. So, Mike, I say this is a long season. If anybody's and I'm seeing a lot of people. I mean, immediately the game is on, and I'm seeing people on social media already throwing this guy out. He's this, that, the other. Again, Peyton Manning had a worse game in his first start, Mike, and it was against a definitely a more inferior team. I don't know. From what I've seen, it wasn't great, but again, I guess that's why they play him on. I guess maybe that's why he has the option to stay in college another year, 2 years, whatever, and really work on what he needs to work on, Mike. I'm not discouraged by what I saw. A little surprised, but not discouraged.
Yeah, I wanted to see a whole hell of a lot more out of him, but like you said, this is Ohio State. Matt Patricia, their defensive coordinator, he only game planned against, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Ben Roethlisberger. I think a sophomore quarterback was, I don't think he lost sleep over game planning against Arch Manning. But, I did want to see a whole lot more out of Arch. It was very disappointing to see. But like you said, a lot of quarterbacks started out slow and got better. But, when you have that golden boy, thrust upon you, that title, it adds pressure to you and see if you can handle it.
Well, let's just take the worst game that Penn State had last year and judge their whole season off it. Again, you can't do that. That's why they play all of them. Let's get on the board, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the show. I do want to say to everybody, we got a big week going on today, or this week, with the New York Jets coming up. Guys, week 1, the tires are finally hitting the road. Jets at Steelers this Sunday. We got a lot to get into. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Let's get to the board. Excuse me. John says 5 days in a wake up. You know what? I got to be honest with you. My whole life revolves around this 5 days in a wake up schedule that John had taught me. Everything I do now, it's 3 days in a wake up, 2 days in a wake up.
Yeah.
Good morning to Jen. Jen says, good morning, everybody. John says, good morning, Jen. Back and forth there. John says, after that terrible play, I'm calling the golden boy Ass Manning. You know what? At this point, he's Ass Manning. That is his name. And we'll start it right here. Mike, nobody will call him anything besides Ass Manning until he proves that he's not Ass Manning. How about that?
Ass Manning is your favorite Manning.
Ass Manning is my favorite Manning. Derpy's Aunt Peaches.
Whoa, Aunt Peaches.
Derpy's Aunt Peaches. Welcome to the board. Derpy's Aunt Peaches says, the Ohio State is the best. Where's my nephew? He's not answering my text. Derpy, he's not here, Aunt Peaches.
We know. Aunt Peaches, Derpy has been MIA for a while. I'm worried that him and the midgets have ran away.
I got to be honest with you. We were just talking about Derpy on Friday. We were talking about giving him away to RB, who I do see on the board as well, as a gift, as a gift for whatever it was, an award for what it was that we did do last week on the show, whatever it was. And the reward, Peaches, was we were going to send Derpy to somebody's house. That was going to be the thing that we're going to send him off. He was going to stay with them and do Derpy things for a weekend or whatever. But that's still in the works. But great to have you, Derpy's Aunt Peaches. Welcome.
That is great.
Welcome to the board.
Aunt Peaches.
Welcome, RB, my man. RB says, I wasn't all impressed with these top quarterbacks. Boy, college is ruining quarterbacks by playing gimmick offense. Coaches don't develop quarterbacks anymore, and they put them in dummy-proof systems to look good. I didn't think that I want to talk about Lenora Sellers here in another minute or two. But of course, there's about 5 guys that we're keeping our eyes on in college. The guy in LSU, the guy at South Carolina, this guy, that guy. So we'll keep an eye on all of them. Again, Ass Manning certainly dropped down my ladder, Mike, of quarterbacks that I want at this exact moment. But we will stay on that, Mike, all through the season, all through the offseason, into the draft. Who knows what's going to happen with the quarterback situation coming forth. Phyllis Steele, what's up, brother? Always great to see Phyllis Steele on the board. He says, what's up, Steeler Nation? RB says, and they can't play real football to save their lives. Mark Malone says, I think the midgets revolted against them.
There was an uprising. My man just snorted. Oh my God.
The sound effect. I'm sorry, Phyllis Steele says you're ready for power, but yeah, that's right, baby. Everybody's ready. Like I said, this is it. This is game week. This is the start of it all. It doesn't stop from now until Valentine's Day, guys. So buckle in, get ready. It's here. The guys back at practice today, Mike, getting ready for the opener against the Jets in New Jersey on Sunday. Everybody can't wait. Everybody's got their towels out. Everybody's got their jerseys out. And Mike, they're ready to go. Let's get a few more of these in. And then I do want to talk about Lenora Sellers briefly, and then we'll crack into things for today. Kenneth, my man, what's up, Kenneth Jones? Always great seeing you on the board. He says, Ohio State, baby. Manning will be fine. The hype machine bit him. Follows that up by saying we're going to another championship this year. See how the hype machine works after only one game. Also, Derpy's Aunt Peaches, he's the best nephew. He rubs my bunions when I ask and combs my back hair. This really is Derpy's Aunt Peaches.
I was worried.
Where is he at? I would like to have him on today when we have special guest family.
My bunions and back hair.
No, I expected them to be good too, Kenneth. I really did. I mean, I told Mike last week, he said that they weren't going to win, and I said that they were going to win. I think the Ohio State's going to be good. Why wouldn't they? RB says Sellers has all the tools, but fuck, they aren't teaching him anything or working on mechanics. It's get out there and get more money, kid. Lenora Sellers, Mike, he did go out over the weekend and went 12 for 19 for 209 yards, a touchdown. In a 24-11 win over Virginia Tech. Mike, he has been being compared to these two gentlemen, Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts, are two people that Lenora Sellers is being compared to. I got to be honest with you. At the end of this day, I want somebody that looks like Allen and Hurts. You know what I mean? Yeah. Again, these are two of the most successful quarterbacks, and if that's what people see in these guys, he crept up my list after you brought him to my attention, a few months ago, and I'm keeping my eye on him. And again, everything I see about him is certainly went a lot better than it did for the opening weekend for Ass Manning, it was a highly anticipated start by the quarterbacks, by this quarterback, Mike. And you know what? Again, game one. Let's see how it goes. Again, if he would have had a cupcake game like a lot of these other teams, maybe he could have got it going like everybody else does when they do the cupcake game. The fact of the matter is this team did take a team that is number one in the country and accept the challenge to face them in the opening game. So again, you put that game as the seventh game of the season, you might get a different result. You just don't know. But again, everybody else takes cupcake games. He didn't get a cupcake game. I'm going to call this one even. Mike, Ass Manning is going to stay Ass Manning until he proves otherwise. But besides for that, I have to see 11 more games of him.
Yeah, we need to see a lot more out of him. And it's a long season. I can't wait to see how everyone plays. Right now, Lenore's is looking like the best out of the bunch right now. So we'll see how it goes. Phyllis Steele, oh yeah, let's have an Ask Peaches. So we can have an Ask Peaches section if you guys have any questions, because Derpy gets a little timid when it's time to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask Derpy's Aunt Peaches, who is on the board today, guys. Just throw a question up, and I'm sure she'll get it. Says, did someone say power? I need more power for my vibrator. I take care of myself. Today's going to be lit, guys. RB says, laugh my fucking ass off. Jalen Hurts. I think just in a sense, and I agree with what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. And I say the same thing when it comes to Jalen Hurts. But at the end of the day, when put in a good situation, he did good. And I mean, the guy won a championship, and it's something that we're looking to do. So, I mean, even if you get somebody at that talent level that could, in the right system, do great things. I don't know, but the Josh Allen thing, obviously the thing that caught my attention. I think Josh Allen's an amazing talent. I think he's got great years ahead of him in this league. And I do see Derpy. Derpy is in the building, everybody. This is crazy. Labor Day. Welcome to Labor Day. 2 Yinzers style, everybody. We have a family get together right on the board. Derpy, say hello to your Aunt Peaches, also on the board. Peaches, Derpy. Mike, but yeah, they just I'm just
I don't even know what I was saying. Where was I at?
I have no clue.
I got so thrown off by both of these people being in the
I
chat
know.
at the same time. I'm totally
You're
blown.
lost, man. You are shook.
I'm shook. I'm really shook. If you're just tuning in, there's something crazy going on the board. Not only is Derpy in the house, but his Aunt Peaches. Derpy's Aunt Peaches is also on the board and living up to the bill, I'd have to say, to this point. Let me jump back on the board here. Jen says, hell yes, smash mouth. Okay, that's what I was saying. Jalen Hurts. I mean, you know what I'm saying. I'm not gaga over him, but he could be a lot compared to somebody a lot worse is what I think I'm saying.
Yeah.
Again, the Josh Allen thing, I like Josh Allen a lot. If he got that comparison in Jalen Hurts, you know what? I'm going to assume that they mean he's a good quarterback.
Yeah, and like the thing too, like Josh Allen, he came in, he was a very inaccurate quarterback.
Yeah.
It's not like he tore up the Montana and that whole division. He was a very inaccurate quarterback, and he learned how to throw. And that's what a lot of these quarterbacks are going to need. A lot of development when they come in. You can see they a lot of like Lenore's. Like, I think like RB says in a couple posts down, has immense talent, but like you said, like you coach these guys up so they can play better for you, and you set them up for the next level.
Wait, am I hearing this right? Are you and RB Yinzer having Yinzer agreeing and getting along? This is
it's a fresh week. We got a fresh enemy list and we got a fresh friend list. Right now, everyone's neutral. Right now,
we'll talk about your Schindler's List in just a moment.
He's creeping up the
but I got to be honest. Is this not the miracle of Labor Day, Mike? You and RB, Derpy and his estranged aunt. There's things going on today on the Two Dumb Yinzers. And you know what? We're here for it, guys, because we are only 6 days away from the opener for the Pittsburgh Steelers football season, Mike, against the New York Jets. Lots and lots of things to go over. And again, all the bullshit out the window. The tire hits the road. It's football season right now. This is Jets week, Jets Monday. And here we go, guys. You know what? I'm going to take a couple more messages, Mike, because I think that the board's actually very interesting today. Always very interesting. But again, with a special guest on the board, I'm talking about Derpy's aunt. I have to see what's going on. Because this is actually kind of a surprise, and I don't know who Derpy's Aunt Peaches could possibly be, unless, of course, it's Derpy's real Aunt Peaches, and that's what I'm going to go with until we are proved wrong. RB says Sellers is now Cam Newton. Snap, run around, huck it up. Looks good for a minute, but gets figured out real quick. He spent like 10 seconds in the pocket total all game. Mark Malone, what's up, bro? Always great seeing Mark Malone on the board. He says most of those quarterbacks are going to suck the tranny. Oh, yeah. Derpy in the building. RB says not once. Did he 1, 2, 3 bang? Every play was an off-structure mess. Jamal, what's up, dude? Always great seeing Jamal on the board. He says, yo, what up, my brothers? Always doing good, my friend. Always great to have you on. RB says, and I'm saying this is a dude who thinks the kid's amazing, but fuck, someone actually coach him and not raking the money off his talents. Derpy says Derpy's Aunt Peaches says to Derpy, hey, baby boy, why are you not answering my text? You didn't change your number again on me. I think that the ants actually moved on Derpy one time. He went out with his buddies. He came home and the ants had moved and they took all the furniture with him. He thought he was in the wrong house. True story. This really happened. Jamal says just signed Warren to a 2-year extension. Yep. Good.
Yeah, that just happened right before we went on.
I like it. I like Warren. I have to see this offense. I have to see the offense formulate. I don't know what to expect. There's a lot of things that I could point to that say could potentially be issues, but again, there's some things that could potentially be improved, Mike, and it's kind of amazing to me that what ESPN has been saying. I have all their predictions and everything that they forecast for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll get into that in today's show as well. We'll get to a few more messages, though, Mike, because, again, it's a holiday. People are off. And welcome to the show for Labor Day, everybody. RB says, no, that's my point. No, Mike, that's my point. What's he doing in college? Fuck, the poor kid is being used.
Yep, that's what a lot of these coaches are now. Like, we're going to have you work in my system, and, you know, we don't care if you improve as long as you can win me some games. Whereas before, it's like, hey, we're going to, you know, make you better so we're better. And, hey, when you go to the next level, we set you up for success. Coaches don't care about that now. They only care about what they can do for me and more or less this year. You know, a lot of coaches are letting a lot of guys down.
Derpy's Aunt Peaches says, I was just telling the guys how I appreciate all your help with my feet and back. She did, Derpy. We heard it all. the foot rubs, the back shaves, all that stuff.
It's
again, welcome to
a close family.
Yes.
Very close family, we're learning.
And again, welcome back to the terrible board, Derpy's Aunt Peach. It's great to have you on. Welcome. Mark Malone says Caleb Johnson's first 100-yard game. You know what? I hope you're right. God, do I hope you're right. I don't want to sit here and worry about Caleb Johnson all year. I don't want this to be my beef. You know, I would love. But again, he's a backup. He's behind Kenneth Gainwell on the depth chart. So who knows if 100 yards is in his books for this weekend. But I got to be honest with you. I'm all for it, man. If he could do it, you know, please, by all means. Phyllis still says, hey, Peaches, give us a Tua. Derpy's Aunt Peaches says, baby, I'm so good at that. I'm famous. This could get messy today, guys. And we haven't even had Sticky B in yet, Mike. John says Aunt Peaches has to be tortilla or Vegas. Where is Vegas here? I haven't seen tortilla or Vegas.
Vegas usually has been checking us out late and posting on the comments section.
No, that's right. He does. Yeah. His schedule. LSU gets. What's up, Cody? Always great seeing you on the terrible board. Welcome to the show, my friend, on this Labor Day. Phyllis Steele, oh my gosh, Peach is reading my palm and I'm melting. RB says, I'm mad. I was going to make the name Derpy's Latrobe Twink. Someone beat me to the joke. Derpy's Aunt Peaches says, oh, John, I can wrap you in a tortilla in Vegas, baby. Just say when, sweetie. Whoa. Derpy, control your aunt. What is going on here? What is going on?
Lord.
RB says, Mike, please tell me you're not the one of those people who think Penn State should be number one now. Mike, do you feel that Penn State should be number one right now?
Oh, God, no. I don't even think we should be in the top 10 right now.
No, they're good. I mean, come on.
We're good, but I know I like us better when we're ranked lower because we don't.
You always say that.
We play.
You're consistent with your argument.
They play tight. The higher they get up in the rankings, and the lower they are, the more loose and fast and just carefree football that they play, to where they don't get in their own heads and the coach gets in his own head. We should know where we're near number one. God, no.
Look at Derpy's Aunt Peach's profile pic. It's a peach with like a I don't know what's going on. It has like lips on it and shit. Yeah. Oof. What a surprise on this Labor Day, everybody. Mike,
I'm about to go hit up the lot lizards after this. My God, it's getting hot in here.
It is getting hot in here, Mike. I wanted to talk about this earlier, but I'm not going to do this right now, Mike. All right, yeah. Phyllis still says, with Peaches on, forget Steelers football. It's Peaches Day. That's right. It's Peaches Day, everybody. And Jen says Penn State impressed her. Guys, let's get into this Pittsburgh Steelers football team, Mike. A couple of things, of course, we did just talk about Lenore Sellers. We talked about Arch Manning, a couple names that seem to come up a lot when you're talking about the upcoming draft in Pittsburgh and what the Steelers plan on doing at the quarterback position moving forward. So we will continue, guys, to follow these names and all the other names around college football, Mike. There's a handful of them, so we will see. And again, we waited, guys. It's been about 7.5 months since the Steelers lost in the playoffs to Baltimore. Here we are. Can you believe it, Mike? It's not anymore the 6 weeks away, 17 days away, 5 days and 2 nights, 3 sleeps, 7 days, whatever the case may be. Like, it's over. This is Jets Monday. This is Jets week. This is the NFL season starting for the Pittsburgh Steelers right here today. The guys are back at work getting prepared for the Jets, Mike, as the Pittsburgh Steelers take on the Jets in New Jersey on Sunday at 1 o'clock for the whatever this kind of weird rematch game is between these two teams that flipped quarterbacks over the offseason. So, guys, here it is. This is where the pavement, the tire hits the pavement. As I keep saying, Mike, it's on like Donkey Kong bitches. Let's get into some things here, Mike. Yep. I'm going to start right about. Let me start right here. I don't know if I want to do that. And let me start with what ESPN had to say. You want to hear what ESPN has to say about the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Sure thing, brother.
ESPN, they did a simulation of every team in the league and played out a season. ESPN is saying that the Steelers are going to be 7-10 and they're going to miss the playoffs. Mike, do you think with the offseason moves that we just made and everything that we did in the offseason and the draft and free agency, is there any way we could go from 10-7 with the team that we had last year and end up 7-10 with the team we have this year?
No. No.
I don't even understand how they think this is a possibility. Even if you're not going to say that they're going to be 10-7, saying 7-10, I think is a little bit ridiculously low for a team that has the talent. I know the question marks on offense that people talk about,
Yeah.
but Mike, this defense in theory should be better than what it was last year. The defense got us to the playoffs. The offense did just enough to get us there. You couldn't make me believe that this team was going to finish 7-10 this year.
No. I know we all joke about him. Mike Tomlin's always going to go at least 8 wins, and that's true. So anything under 8 wins, I immediately roll my eyes at. Is no. Like this is a team that Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph that finished 8-8. Mason Rudolph, Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky made the playoffs. I mean, get the hell out of here. And this defense is still a really good defense.
Mike, it's
yes, other teams have improved in the offseason, but the Steelers didn't, just stand around with a thumb up their asses. We went out and improved. We didn't improve everywhere we wanted, but no team does. We're keeping pace with everyone else around us. No, there's no way. We're easily going to split the division. That's just a given right there. We're going to at least go 500 there. And then you just have to find 4 more wins throughout the schedule. You can do that blindfolded.
I agree. And there's some teams that are very beatable. So, again, I don't agree with a lot of the things, Mike, but also ESPN says that the Steelers are number 16 overall in the league, 32 teams. They are exactly at the halfway point, just like they seem to be every year. They're saying 16th overall, Mike. Also, they're saying there's a 44.6 chance of making the playoffs, 44% 0.6% chance of making the playoffs, and finally, Mike, 18.5% chance of winning the division. What do you think of those numbers?
18.5 to win the division.
I think that's
fair. I don't know. Well, a lot of people do have Cincinnati above us because of their big 3 on offense, but I think the defense is going to be that team's Achilles heel. I can see Cincinnati only winning 7 games.
That I could see. They have no defense. They have no defense at all. Even with their good players on defense, their defense is terrible. They had Trey Hendrickson last year, and still the defense, it was like a wet paper bag at the end of the day, Mike. So, I'm again, it's going to be the Bengals, and you're going to get that passing game, but it's going to be what it's going to be. Nothing new, no surprises, Mike. I don't think. Also, what else do I got here? A majority of the NFL.com analysts expect the Steelers to miss the playoffs. What am I missing? Kenny Pickett takes the team to the playoffs. Mason Rudolph takes the team to the playoffs. Mitch Trubisky takes the team to the playoffs. You go out and you bring in, Jalen Ramsey, let's just say, for an example, Jonnu Smith, DK Metcalf, Slay, Aaron Rodgers, and all of a sudden nobody's expecting us to win more than a handful of games.
Yeah, it's wild. Like, this team on paper is better than the team we had last year. And like John's saying on the board, if the O-line's just bet in the injuries to key players, that it could happen that way. But just going off the base, looking at the Steelers roster, everyone else's roster, the historical trends of the teams and the players, like you can make an argument for this team. At worst would be 9 wins, 8 wins, maybe 8 and 9, but 7 wins, no. Like, and this has been the thing now ever since Ben's elbow injury is like a lot of analysts say Pittsburgh's finally going to have they're going to have their losing season. They're going to have their losing season. And they just want to keep saying it because eventually they'll be right. And they're like, see, I called it. And now they don't want to really change up on their stuff. A few analysts have said, hey, I've been picking this team to lose, be bad for the past 3 years. I've given up because they have shown that this is their baseline, and they're not going to drop below it. They just find a way to win games. Even though a couple of those years we probably should have just let the thing bottom out, but we don't. This team will find a way. They'll either win enough early to have a late collapse, or suck early and find a way to rally to make a run for the playoffs like they always do.
Also, Mike, some other things that were released by the opinionators out there. This is something from The Athletic. Like The Athletic. The Athletic says that Y.A. Black, he is the definition of a Steelers defensive lineman.
Yes, he is. I love me some Y.A. Black. There's a video out of he was at a high school leading one of their little the cheers and shit. That dude has infectious energy for days. He's my new favorite Steeler. 1, because he's fat, and 2, because he's a badass.
Yeah,
I
he
think
fits.
he's going to be a steal of the draft.
He fits the mold for sure, Mike. I hope it works out for him. And it's like I said, he seems to be off to a little bit better start than the guy that was picked in the first round. So you know what? I'll take that. To see the guy pick the ladder, being having that early success, albeit the preseason, Mike. I think that it's a taste of what we're going to get from YA Black. And let me get to a couple more, and then we'll grab some more of these messages. I see that Derpy's and Peaches is still in the room here, Mike. This is ESPN's strengths of the team is going to be their team's defensive physicality. Mike, that is supposed to be the strength of this team, the defense's physicalness. And the weakness of this team, Mike, is considered right now. A lot of opinions are saying the offense's cohesiveness. So the physicality of the defense and the offense's cohesiveness is what ESPN is saying are our strengths and our weaknesses heading into week one.
Was our defense physical last year?
Not when they got pushed all around the field.
No, they got pushed all around. So that means to tell me
in certain games they were.
In certain games they were. So that means to tell me, do they like the additions that we added that's going to make this defense more physical and better, but yet they're only going to play well enough to win 7 games? I'm a little confused there.
No, you're right. It's all over the place with ESPN's reporting. I think that Jalen Ramsey certainly plays a part, Mike. He's going to be a physical beast on the back end, playing. RB is saying breaking on the board, Mike. Keep your eye on what RB has going on up top here. Yeah. But again, I think a lot of people were expecting Jalen Ramsey just to be pretty physical in the back end, changing kind of the way the game is played when you play against the Pittsburgh Steelers, which I could totally see that. Yes, Jalen Warren, just as we did go on the air, guys, he did sign a 2-year extension with the Steelers. Thank you, RB. My man, thank you for that. And finally, Mike, things that were said about the opinionators around the country. There was, remember I said last week in Forbes.com, that Aaron Rodgers was voted the most annoying player in the NFL.
Yeah.
Well, apparently in this, it's not Forbes, it's another poll. Aaron Rodgers is considered the NFL's most intriguing player. So
it's making Cam Hayward jealous that Aaron Rodgers is getting on all these lists and not him.
Yeah, he would be making it like on all the
he's giving him the stink face. He's over there all
right. Let's get back on the board, Mike. I don't want to miss anything here. A lot of good things going on the board as I do see. I'm going to go right back to 12:08:14. Meatball Aunt Peaches says, Meatball, gotta love a man who is called meaty balls by his friends.
Peaches.
Ooh. I think Derpy might be somewhere covering his ears, Mike.
He better be, my God, or getting her a mop or something. Jesus.
Life of Derpy. Ugh. RB says no one talks about how bad Cincy's O-line. It might be the worst. That is a terrible. You know what? Did you see him getting killed whenever he did play a little bit in the season?
Yeah.
That's the reason why you shouldn't play your quarterback. I mean, come on, you don't play your quarterback behind that line in the preseason. What are you, crazy?
I think them in Texas might have one of the top 2 worst lines in the league.
They crazy? Eating too much chili over pasta, right?
Oh, that's just disgusting.
RB, I'm sorry, Jamal said that's a little low. Ain't it 18%? I'm not sure, my man.
For us to win the division,
18.5 is what I got. 18.5%. 16th overall, 18.5% chance to win a division, and 44% chance to win make the playoff.
I got pushed at 25. I think we have a good shot.
Do you really? I mean, the Ravens are. I mean, the
Ravens are good.
The Ravens are picked to win a Super Bowl by a lot of people, and guys, a lot of people are picking us to not make the playoffs. So, I mean, does that kind of maths there in a sense?
Yeah.
Jen says, "I'm telling you, if things are good with good, Rodgers will be great. But if the O line doesn't hold up and protect him, he will be a bit." I agree. Can you imagine after a couple bad games and then he starts giving his opinion after the game? Oh, Aaron Rodgers' opinion. I don't think we've dealt with that just yet since he's been here.
I hope it doesn't happen, but I kind of do because it'd be juicy.
I mean, he hasn't given any bad opinions about people yet. Wait till that starts happening. RB says also Ryan Kenny Pickett never took a team to the play. Well, you know what? He had a winning record.
He was there. He had some good. I'm not a Kenny Pickett guy at all, but he had some fourth quarter comebacks.
Absolutely.
maybe
He
stop
was a
bitching
part.
about it for
He
a
was a
while.
part of the season that they made the playoffs. I
Yeah.
mean, we could give all the credit to the guy that played 3 games, or the guy that got them to that point and then got injured. So again, I give him credit where credit is due. I
Yeah.
will do that for sure. Phil still says, "Hey, Peaches, Vanilla Thunder needs an adjustment."
I don't know how Cinnamon would react to that, Steel. I'm trying to keep things peaceful on my end.
RB says the media is so anti-Rodgers since the vaccine shit. It's not funny. Speaking of which, he blew Ryan Clark off, and Clark was a little confused why he made it personal. That yes, absolutely. We'll also get into that, Mike. I do have the story about Ryan Clark getting blown off by Aaron Rodgers. I think is pretty funny. Derpy's aunt says, "I would love to adjust Vanilla Thunder. I will rock his world."
Ooh, peaches.
She also
I'm a
says,
taken man.
once Vanilla has peaches and cream, he'll never touch a lot lizard again. Come here, Vanilla. You can braid my back hair.
You want French braids? I can do it, sister. Let's go.
RB should be okay. Yeah. It was right before we went on. Matter of fact, I didn't see it, RB, but Mike did catch it. About the extension for Jalen Warren, so we're good on that. I like this extension. Matter of fact, again, Mike, with some question marks just around the backfield, it's going to be interesting. I think you need all these guys, all 3 of these guys, certainly to get the season started and to kind of get a feel, kind of get an identification, an identity for this team, Mike. So again, having all 3 of these backs healthy to start the season, I think is a really good thing and a step in the right direction as we try to figure out this offense and see what we're going to be and what kind of team we're going to be and how things are going to go for us. So I'm looking forward to that really soon. Jen says, I'm anti-Rodgers because I've heard him for years. And that's what I know. Like, Jen, you're out in Wisconsin. I mean, I'm sure you've heard the good, the bad, the ugly. You've seen it all with this guy, the public opinion, people around town talking. So, you definitely got the feel for the guy. I just have the horror, the nightmare stories, the horror stories, I guess. So I guess that's why we'll watch, see what they can do. Phyllis still says, Derps is off fixing the chirp on the fire alarm. That's what they call it now. John says, why a black and blue? He is a bruiser. He got the belly celly.
The belly celly is the greatest celebration in all of football. That and the sexy Dexy dance.
And you remember Warren Sapp's dance where he would kind of just jump up in the air with his ass?
Yeah.
I think that could certainly be on the list somewhere too because it was so ridiculous but funny. Derpy's Peaches says, "Derpy baby, are you still coming here to visit later?" Whoa. I think Derpy ran.
I think he did. I think he was embarrassed.
He's like, I have to spend all my downtime with my Aunt Peaches now. RB says, "Hey now, chili and pasta is great. Only good thing to come from Cincy."
See, now you're moving over to the enemy board.
See, I don't hate chili. I don't hate chili and pasta. Oh. I mean, they're both good things. Why not be good together?
They're good separate, not together.
Interesting. Derby's Aunt Peaches says, I tried to change the battery for him, but he was looking up my skirt when I was on the ladder. I wasn't wearing any panties, and I didn't want to shock him with the view. We got to get some cameras up at the Derby household. RB says, Benton calls Big Black hungry. And also Jen says, the belly celly is awesome. It sure is. I'm glad it's ours. I love the celly. I love the belly celly. Let's get into some more things here, Mike. So Kaboli, this meathead,
10 to 12 days.
Well, his thing now is this. He says the Steelers are going to play the Green Bay Packers in the Super Bowl. Which one thing? I mean, it's pretty a Yinzer thing to automatically throw the Steelers in the Super Bowl, but it's what we do here in Pittsburgh. So you know what? I'm okay with that.
I'll let him slide.
I'll let him slide on that one.
Yeah.
But Mike, he's saying his prediction is going to be the Steelers and the Packers and Super Bowl XF in San Francisco. You know what? It would be awfully fitting by the way things have played out to this point with the teams and with the quarterbacks and with all that. And that would make a perfect finish to this season for the NFL. However, I think that gets trumped by the idiots that just got engaged, and I'm pretty sure they'll be getting married at the halftime show of the game that he's playing in. Mike, it just, come on. Taylor Swift and Kelsey just get engaged. Come on, this is going to play a big part in his football season. I don't know why, I don't know how, I don't know where, but you know damn well this is going to be a big part of this season, and I am not ready for that.
Man, a lot of people are predicting that, so I'm going to go with that. That's not going to happen, there, brother.
They're saying he's going to get married at the Super Bowl.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, mark it in your book because I'd say it, and if it happens, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think know. You don't think it's going to happen?
No, I don't think it's going to happen at all. No. There's a more realistic possibility of a Steelers-Packers Super Bowl.
Why do you say that? I mean, it is as big as Taylor Swift is, and all the extra, the fans without peckers. She brings all those fans to the game, and at least turn on the television while the game is on. But again, I don't know. Maybe there's no script. Maybe nobody's behind it. Maybe it'll be the Steelers and the Packers, which again is awfully scripty to me. But Mike, again, that meathead, he says Steelers, Packers in San Francisco on mid-February for the Super Bowl.
I want that to happen. Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers, sensei versus pupil.
When was the last time you've ever wanted anything to happen in the NFL? I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean, obviously this would be, a great. I mean, I would love it. I would love to have that chance to get that back from Green Bay after what happened 15 years ago. And I mean, it would be a great thing.
Yeah. If we get the guy who beat us to go beat the old team.
Yeah, no, and then he'll lose too. He'll lose for us now or something.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that'd be some shit right there. Or he get injured and Magnum Mason comes in and starts slinging that hog around.
Yeah, man. On the board, Mark Malone says Derpy has been after Peach's Peach for a long time. What's going on? What is going on his Labor Day? RB says, is some outlet going to pay for 2 seats for Kabuli to fly to Ireland?
He makes me look skinny.
Bro, I would not get on a plane.
White and black look
I would not get on a plane with a guy whose weight pushed the car down into the ground of the earth so it couldn't get back. They needed, an army of men to get it out. I'm not getting on an airplane with this dude. I'm just saying. But anyway, one thing I did want to say, Mike, when that game does happen in week 4, that is going to be the matchup of the oldest quarterback in the league versus the youngest starting quarterback in the league. JJ McCarthy and, of course, Aaron Rodgers, Mike. So week 4 has a lot of interesting twists to it as well. Is it just me, or since the entertainment age, the age that, the Vegas and the Steelers kind of jumped into bed together, or the NFL jumped into bed together, is it just me, or does there seem to be a lot more interesting storylines every year? I mean, these storylines are they're a bunch now. I mean, every once in a while, you used to have a crazy game where something big was happening. John Elway's playing a guy that he faced in college and at Stanford, blah, blah, blah. And that was like the story. Like now it's this, that, the other, and the other. Are they just that good at putting things together?
I know. For this one here, I think it's correlation does not equal causation. I think it's the free agency and then the never-ending 24-hour news cycle of just the NFL, not just sports, but the NFL. So they have to find a way to keep fans engaged because there's so much other shit out there people can be doing other than sitting down and watching the game on NBC or CBS or Fox. So they have to create those compelling storylines, like pro wrestling, like you and I always talk about off air. You got to create that story. You got to create that atmosphere. Yeah. And by doing that is talking up these storylines, because what if the game's a dud? If the game's a dud, I at least have this storyline to talk about to keep people engaged. Because the entertainment value and just like free agency, and then the salary cap, so teams can't stay together. Guys go around the league now more and more than back in the day.
So what are you saying?
I think it's just, free agency, and then it's just the way it lines up, and how can we make this game interesting? What storyline can we find right here? And that's just the one we'll weave, and we'll force it down your throat.
I mean, we have Taylor Swift. I don't remember, Britney Spears. Okay, you know what? I'm lying because
what's her name?
That one, Jessica, whatever, with Tony.
Jessica Simpson. Romo.
Well, again, that was Tony Homo, who was terrible. Where Travis Kelce is one of the best, and then also Taylor Swift is like a record.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Again, who cares? I really don't. I don't care. So I'm going to move on a little bit. See right here, Derpy. His aunt says I have been telling him for years that he can touch my peaches, but he must then touch my plums. Wink, wink.
Whoa.
This is definitely what Monday morning needed on the Two Dumb Yinzers. Love having Derpy's aunt Peaches on. Jen says Pat McAfee is. Yeah, probably. He probably is. He probably is. RB says storylines aren't hard to find. They just never tried hard to find them. Also, free agency makes it a lot easier. And RB says Kelsey was one of the best. He's a washed bum now. I mean, but the name isn't, though.
Yeah.
Once you say Taylor Swift and Travis Kelsey, you have a whole demographic flocking to the TV screen, which, again, I don't get and I'm not into. But I can certainly acknowledge that happened 2 years ago and the year before that with, remember when Jason Kelsey in the retirement, in the brother versus brother in the Super Bowl. And again, these storylines are really, again, just kind of follow, see what's going on and see what you think. But Ralph, I do want to say happy Labor Day to you, sir, as well on the terrible board. Happy Labor Day to you, my friend. Hope all is well to Ralph. Question, everybody. Let's take a look at this. Aaron Rodgers, number 8, the quarterback of the Steelers. Does he look terrible in week 1? Does he look average in week 1? Or does he look great in week 1? Again, Mike, the public opinion says that cohesiveness, or I'm sorry, ESPN said cohesiveness on the offensive side of the ball could certainly be the weakness of the Steelers team, Mike. Aaron Rodgers, week 1. Terrible, average, or great performance? Guys on the board, feel free as well.
I'm going to go average.
What's an average? I mean, give me some, throw some numbers out on what you think that might be. Is that 200 yards to you? Is that?
I was going to say, yeah, like 12 of 20, 14 of 20, a little over 200
that's pretty
yards.
Good. 14 of 20 is excellent. I mean, for somebody who hasn't
12 of 20, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like around like 200 yards and probably like a touchdown.
I hope you're right. I mean, I think that's going to be a good day for opening day for a bunch of guys that really haven't played in a game experience situation together ever before. You know what I mean? A couple guys coming back from injury, a couple other. So again, the cohesiveness of the offense is certainly something that's going to be in question, and we'll be keeping an eye on early on as the season does kick off, Mike, to see how we feel that this offense is going to play. Again, there's all those points that, of course, I could start to talk about again, but it seems like I'm really digging and splitting hairs when I do that, so I'm not going to.
Yeah.
But there are quite a few, question marks on the offensive side of the ball. I hope that I'm wrong, but again, if we're going to sit down and find things that are wrong, they're there. This team is definitely not perfect. They're far from being a great team, but I think we got a pretty damn good team on our hands. Let's get to the board, Mike. Some people talking about what Aaron Rodgers might do this week. Is he going to look terrible? Is he going to look average? Or is he going to look great? Which is a good question considering everything that's led up to this point. He might come out on fire. He might come out, he just might. Yeah. We don't know. I'm going to start right down here with my man Kenneth. Kenneth says, slow start, but warms up. RB says Steeler fans will say he's terrible because we haven't seen a real good, solid technical QB play since forever. Mark Malone says this. He says, I'm looking for Rodgers to go 20 of 28, 300. I just love this optimism. And the thing is, a lot of time I know that Mark Malone, he's tongue-in-cheek with some things. But when I read his stuff, I thought, man, wouldn't life be good if this is what we do? If this was the case, let's say Aaron Rodgers goes out and goes 20 for 28, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns in the week first game against the Jets. Man, we're going to be smiling on Victory Monday next week, right?
Oh, yeah, we will. If he puts up those numbers, it would be smiling like a butcher's dog.
RB says 21 of 26, 245, 2 touchdowns, still damn good. Again, I think that I would think that the 245 range would be more realistic, but again, what do I know? Jen says he will look good because we all are starving for passing over the middle. I know the little things that he's going to be able to do easily should make us very happy, I think, Mike, passing over the middle, for an example.
Yeah, he was it just attacked the middle of the field. That's what I want to see with purpose, not, having to roll out to throw to the middle of the field because guys are moving away from it. Now, just stand there and deliver a dart to one of your big tight ends.
RB says, I love Ben, but by the time he was technically sound, people were calling for him to leave and didn't like it at all.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Malone says, the Roman snags 80-yard touchdown, or has 80 yards and a touchdown.
I'll take that every fucking week.
Ralph says, Steelers 14, Jets 3. Steelers come out flat. I can't imagine the Steelers coming out flat, right, guys? That just seems like it's a it's a birthright of the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're going to come out flat. I think the last time that I could recall off the top of my head was the AFC Championship game back in 05, Mike, against the Denver Broncos was the last time. I don't remember this offense coming out flat. They came out and just moved the ball right down the field. But every game since then, I'm pretty sure it's been a flat start.
Probably. This is how it feels.
It sure does.
We always remember the worst. We never remember the best.
That's why I always remember you, buddy. Let's see. Ralph.
I'll take it. Win is a win.
Ralph says you can have all the talent in the world, but if you can't coach, it's over. So I mean, there you go, guys. That's those are good opinions. I don't know. I think, Mike, that it'll probably be somewhere over 200 and under 250 on the day for passing.
Yeah, I'm just looking at his.
I could certainly see a touchdown for sure.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying that we're not supposed to score more touchdowns. I mean, we could score by running the ball or whatever. But I could certainly feel, even if we come out slow, somewhat sloppy, incohesive, I could still see a 200 to 250 yard day. I could see a touchdown, maybe an interception.
Yeah.
I'm going to say average. I don't know. It may fluctuate through the course of the game. Remember, this guy's going to be playing from, buzzer to buzzer, so it's not preseason. We're getting Aaron top to the bottom, and again, I think it fluctuates. Sometimes he probably looks, as mentioned on the board, maybe he warms up as time goes on. Totally not out of the question, right?
Yeah, I was just looking at his game logs last year, even before I posted my prediction or semi-prediction. Like his first two games were not good. Like 13 of 21, 18 of 30. 3 touchdowns, 1 pick total, but the yardage was like 167, 176. It was like games 3, 4, and 5, and 6. He really got into a groove right there. But he was coming off the Achilles last year, and that Jets team, they have talent, but like the coaching staff was not that good, or at least the head coach was not that good at keeping everything under control. So all that factoring in, that's why I think it might be a slow start. I think the first drive or two, he's going to look shaky, and we're all going to be like, oh my God, this is terrible. But from then on, I think it will get better and better as the game goes on. I think that's kind of like what Kenneth was saying as well. Start off a little sloppy, but then by the time the game's wrapping up, he'll be looking sharp.
Yeah, that kind of seems to be somewhat of the general consensus, Mike. And it makes a lot of sense that it would possibly go that way. But again, this is when the tire hits the road. There's not going to be much more speculating. This time next week, Mike, will either be a victory Monday, or we're going to be trying to figure out what it is that we got to do to get back on track for the Seahawks for the first home game the weekend after. So, I mean, it's on, and we're here for it, guys. And again, we waited all year, again, 7.5 months since we've been eliminated from the playoffs by the Baltimore Ravens. Mike. So again, I know Steeler fans and Yinzers alike are chomping at the bit to get this season underway, to kind of wash that bad taste from our mouth and get a win and feel good about ourselves. And again, get this show started. You get that first win out of the way. A lot of times, like the Steelers do, they win a lot at home to kick off or a lot in the first game of the season, Mike, to kick off a year. So I'm going to predict, and we'll do our predictions later on in the week. But I'm going to be hard pressed to think that the Jets really have any chance to win this football game. Yes, they're a pro team. Yes, they got good players. Yes, they have great talent. At the end of the day, you've seen Steeler football your whole life. You've seen how things tend to play out, and kind of, following things like we do, we know that certain things are going to go into this that mean a lot. And I don't think the Jets are going to win this football game, Mike. Let's get to this. What do we do? Do we want to get into Ryan Clark and Aaron Rodgers? Or do we want to get into Meatwad? Because apparently Meatwad's pissed off because he is what is he saying? He's the scapegoat now?
Yeah.
Connor Hayward. What's the story with this, Mike?
I don't know the Connor Hayward one. That one I didn't hear about. So.
Okay. Yeah, he's pissed off because now he feels that he's the team's scapegoat because he's Cam's little brother. He says, like before when Cordell Patterson was the scapegoat, he says, I feel like that I'm the scapegoat now because I'm Cam's little brother. What does that even mean? What is that? What's he crying about? What are we even talking about this for? It's Jets week. What is he going on about his own ego and whether people who cares? Right?
Yeah. Like, dude, you're not a scapegoat. People just laughed that, we kept you over like someone like Beanie Bishop. Yeah, you're a good special teams player, but you're not Miles Killebrew.
He's Meatwad.
You're Meatwad. Like, you made it to the NFL. No one's gonna. I'm not taking that away from you, but like in the grand scheme of things, this team will move right along without you. We will find someone on special teams to fill your spot. Like maybe just get offline and forget about what people are saying about you. You know, it's you're like the 48th man on a 53-man roster. Like no one really cares about you.
Isn't it?
If your name wasn't Hayward, people wouldn't even be talking about you in a positive manner.
Mike. I said to myself, "What's he doing?" And then I thought, "Oh, well, he is Cam's brother. Of course, he's being a big vagine at this point." And again, what perfect timing! We were heading off to play the Jacksonville Jaguars for the first preseason game, and we find out that Cam's ready to play games with his contract. Now we're ready to start preparing for the Jets, and Connor Hayward's having PMS issues. It's unbelievable. Yeah, these two guys are. Come on, and he's saying, "Well, I'm hearing what everybody's saying," or somebody reported that he's hearing what people were saying. No shit, that's what we talk about 365 days a year. How these dudes, these two guys, Cam and Meatwad, they only care, their ego, and that's what you're seeing again right here. Why are we not focusing on the Jets, Connor?
Yeah, like he was online with a Twitter beef with a troll account and stuff. Like, come on, bro, you're an active player. Like, you got to let that stuff go. You can't, like, if your last name was, Harmon or Black instead of Hayward, no one would care. Just keep your mouth shut and just go out and do your things, and you be that scrappy little guy on the team that fans would root for. But no, you got to be like your brother and run your mouth. You just keep your mouth shut and go out there and play your role, and then people will, might have a better opinion about you. But no, you want to run out there and run your mouth like your brother. Like, you just stop.
I listen right now. We should be talking about things that are going to be happening in the next 7 days.
Yeah,
all that other shit doesn't even matter anymore.
Him and his brother, man, they just don't know when to quit.
They're just a guy that always says the wrong thing at the wrong time, apparently. Let me jump right back down here. Warren, 3 years, $17 million, 12 guarantees. What RB is reporting on the board. We appreciate that, RB. Good for him.
Yeah, I saw he got a pay bump this year too. I think I saw 7. I didn't see the full terms, but
I hope he can hold on to the ball. That's all. RB says Jets secondary is ass, but Tomlin refuses to step on anyone's neck, so he will pull up after a 10-point lead. Sauce Gardner's pretty good, I guess.
But the receiver that Sauce Gardner hates that he hates to cover is Calvin Austin. He was asked, who does he hate?
Oh, that's
receiver gives him the most trouble.
I forgot that conversation.
He was like, Calvin Austin, third.
Well, let's see if that was just respect or he really means it, Mike, and he gets burnt. RB says Ben against Indy could have broke the single game passing yard record with ease, and Tomlin pulled him out early in the third. I'll never forgive him for that. What do you? He had like 500 yards or something crazy too, didn't he?
Something like that, yeah.
Jen says, can't wait to make Justin Fields sorry he left. And you know what? I like. Come on, the guy. In my opinion, the guy did good by us. He came here. He kept his mouth shut. He came in and played the 6 games that he was asked. He went 4-2. Did pretty well. Didn't really put the ball. He didn't put the ball on the ground. There was neither of these two guys I dislike. They just left here. It was fun. It was whatever. We didn't have our quarterback. Let's throw these guys against the wall. See if either of them stick. And it's just, again, I have no beef with either one of those two guys. I thought it was a pleasant experience, with the exception of actually going out on the field and playing football.
Right.
Everything else, I don't have anything bad to say. I truly don't. I thought they were both professional while they were in Pittsburgh, at least.
Yeah, it's just you just wish their play, match their.
I would have liked to see better play and be less professional.
Exactly.
Go George Pickens or something.
Exactly.
RB says he's a scapegoat because he's ass and doesn't belong on the roster. It's just your last name. Definitely. I don't think he would still be on this team if his name wasn't Hayward. He would be one of those revolving positions, Mike. He would be one of them. You know what I mean? You have that one that always changes out. They always seem to change out, and he is it for right now. And it's been the Steeler way. RB says I like I said, cockhead and shithead, the Hayward brothers. And then he follows it up by saying this. He says, yeah, but Sauce, for as good as he is, 100. Soaking wet, you make him cover DK. Don't get me wrong. Again, I don't think that the Jets win this game. And again, I don't think Sauce Gardner is the difference maker. But again, we do have question marks, and I think, Mike, this might be a good game for our offense. We're not going out and playing an overwhelmingly good defense. We're not going out and playing this could be a good cupcake game for us. But the NFL, you got to watch out because sometimes those games will turn into a loss,
Right? Yeah,
and we just can't let that happen.
yeah, and like you said, they do have playmakers on the team. Like Fields, he's able to make if breaks contain, and he's able to make a play with his leg, or he has a cannon of an arm, so he can throw it downfield. And if Garrett Wilson breaks free, he can make a play. I like a couple of their guys on their defense as well. They got some playmakers. Quinnen Williams, their D tackle, I think he's a really good player. So they have pieces. They have guys who can make one play. Next thing you know, that swing the momentum of the game in their favor, and they go on a roll for a little bit, and that's just enough to eke out a victory for the Jets. But I think from top to bottom, we have the much more talented roster.
Let me ask you absolutely. Let me ask you this, Mike, and the terrible board. If it came down to it, come down to the chopping block. Have you ever watched Chopped? When it comes down to the chopping block, Mike, Ben Skoranek or Robert Woods?
Robert Woods.
All right. And on the board as well, guys.
That's who we're cutting, right?
Is that really? I don't know. I know it's down to Robert Woods and Skoranek, and it will ultimately be because I think one's going to be on the practice squad, correct, and the other will be.
Yeah, Woods is on the practice squad right now. But
you would rather have Woods?
No. I'd rather have Skoranek. Excuse me. I didn't understand the.
Why would you rather have Skoranek?
He's a special teams ace. He's the gunner on the outside. I like that. He can. He's made some good plays last year in special teams for us, and I think he's a more reliable receiver at this point in their career.
All right. RB says this is what I call a Tallman game. Should win by 21, but it will be a 3 to 10 point game because of being out. It's possible.
Hey, as long as it's a W,
yeah,
that's all I want. But I do miss the days of us just running up the score, just running up the score on people,
playing good football.
Just
because look at last year. Look at the beginning of games that they were 18 to 12. They were 12 to 9. They were So I mean, it's a good possibility, Mike, that the season does start off that way. I hope not. I hope that we could go out and put up some points and impose our will in New York. And that would give people a lot of confidence, especially with the offensive line. People not knowing what to expect. Will there be cohesiveness on the offense in general? Lots of questions, Mike, and the defense does have to come out strong. They do have to come out hype, and they do have to kind of hold up their end of the load till the offense can kind of pick its ass up off the ground and see what it has and move a little bit. So a lot of things go into it. Plus, Mike, I think special teams, we're kind of gold in the special teams area. You have Chris Boswell, who's arguably one of the best kickers in the game, and then you have Corliss Waitman, who just won a competition against Cam Johnson, a pretty damn good kicker in this league, Mike.
Yeah. And
then also the intangible, the things like these younger guys. I think you get Y.A. Black, somebody like Harmon when he comes back. Some of these younger guys are going to want to make a name for themselves when it comes time to blocking one of them field goals. Maybe that's going to be going right over their head in important parts of the game. I think there's a lot to be happy about and excited about. And of course, Danny Smith always gets the guys fired up and excited. Maybe a couple of questions that I would have on special teams is it looked like in the preseason they put Caleb Johnson. I don't see him returning kicks once the season starts, Mike. No. And I do see Calvin Austin, but is Calvin Austin, does he ever get to the point where you're just going to put him at receiver because you don't want him to get hurt?
I don't know. I thought about that too because he is listed out on the depth chart as the number one punt returner in Scotty Miller.
And as John has on the board, 161 pounds.
Yeah, like I see why you want to put him back there because he can break a long gainer or take one to the house at any moment. But at the same time, we know how violent those hits are. That guy who finds a seam and just goes down there 100 miles an hour and blindsides you. I don't want to put Calvin Austin in that.
Let me ask you this:
I'd rather have Scotty Miller
make your
back
decision.
there.
Would you rather? Do you think it's better chances that he gets hurt on a punt return?
Yeah.
Or he takes one to the house?
I think better chances he gets hurt.
I do too.
I would use him sparingly, like a game where say like the offense is struggling. Okay, you're going to go back out there, special teams, and see if you can jumpstart something, see if you can do something for us. Any other time, putting Scotty Miller back there. Scotty Miller, it seems to be short-handed back there. Let him do that. I'd rather Scotty Miller be back there and then risk Calvin Austin injury. I save him for the offense. Use him sparingly. Like if you need a spark, you go ahead and you put Calvin Austin in there.
And RB is saying on the board, Gainwell, he returns kicks as well.
Yeah.
Mike, also, let me just jump back into this just because we are getting ahead. I did want to handle the comment before we do keep talking on special teams. RB says Woods, without a doubt. Skoranek played fullback and wing tight end at the Rams. Ben is 10 times the player. So he's RB, again, agreeing with Mike. It's insane what's going on this Labor Day on the two dumb Yinzers here today. RB says, punts are much harder to line up for. But, I'm just saying this. We have strong special teams. We do. Some of these guys, Mike, like Carson Bruner. I can't wait to see him on special teams. It seemed like he was in every special team tackle in the preseason. The guy has a nose for the ball. His dad was a former Steeler. He's going to be loved. He's going to be loved. People are going to love Carson Bruner at the end of the day here in Pittsburgh. And again, I just think that we generally have strong special teams. So that's going to be a thing as well, Mike, as, again, they try to figure out if this offense, how to get it up to speed and where it wants to be. Defense got to do its thing and special teams got to do its thing. And I think we still find ways to win these games as we did in the past, Mike, as we did march Rudy out there, as we did march Mason Duck. And Kenny and Duck and every single one of these guys. So, again, Mike, it should, in theory, be better than it's been. But, again, we'll have to wait and see. And those other defense and special teams don't have to carry the load until we get to that point. And we got good ones, though. So I think we'll be okay.
I think we will, too. I really I'm loving this team. I just can't wait to see it in action.
Absolutely.
I'm tired of the speculation, brother.
It's been a long off season, Mike. Let's get into this last big story for the Steelers. This went down, I think, toward the end of last week into the weekend. This was Ryan Clark. He says Aaron Rodgers ignored him while visiting at training camp. There was a lot of people who, this is what was said. There was a lot of people who I felt were excited to see me come into camp. And then there was one. It's cool, though. It strangely enough made me respect him. This is Ryan Clark talking about Aaron Rodgers. He says, I hit Steelers Director of Communications, Burt Lawton, up because we were coming to the campus. I have nothing against dude. He's fine. I was like, man, I would love to sit with him. I'm a part of the history here. He's a quarterback with our team now. I actually don't dislike him. I want to sit down with him, welcome him to Steeler Nation, and just kind of have a conversation. I didn't want to have a conversation about that. I wanted to talk about his career. I had so basically what happened here, Mike, was he showed up. Ryan Clark was anticipating talking to Aaron Rodgers after what went on, a little bit in the offseason. Ryan Clark said he should go to the geriatric home, this, that, or the other. And Aaron Rodgers kind of gave him the cold shoulder. And Ryan Clark says he kind of respects him a little bit more for that.
Yeah, like, hey, he's standing on his principles. Someone to do that to me, yeah, you respect that. They're like, okay, that's cool. And now you both know where you stand, and then go with it. Like, I think they're both can be annoying at times. Clark and Rodgers, I think they both can be misunderstood at times. Like, they have like the same personality. These two, they say what they want to say, and then just go about their business. They both annoy me, but they both intrigue me at the same time.
Think he's bigger than he really is?
Maybe.
I seen this comment. And I thought, you know what, that might be. Maybe he just does have a bigger head. I mean, he was good at what he did.
Yeah,
he certainly filled the part. But again, at the end of the day, Ryan Clark, which I love. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but,
I love me some Ryan Clark.
More Clark on Rodgers. I respected it because he was like, I'm not going to be fake for whatever he feels or whatever it is. He's like that. Is not someone that I fool with in that way, and I'm not going to fake it. And I think it set the tone. When I was on the field, I didn't say anything to him. He didn't say anything to me, but I did get a good chuckle out of it. Channing Crowder thought it was funny. Fred Taylor thought it was funny. They were like, damn, he didn't even acknowledge it. And I was like, it's better. So basically he tried, he wanted to say what's up and everything. So was Aaron Rodgers being a dick, or was Aaron Rodgers just genuinely being Aaron Rodgers? Or, Mike, was he kind of giving a little bit of a cold shoulder because of the comments that were made prior?
It could
by
be because
Ryan Clark.
they both went back and forth in the media to each other.
They did
For a long
just
time. It goes
ignored.
back to everything, and so I think it's the dynamic that those two have of like if they're going to talk about each other, it's going to be sparring back and forth in the media at each other and not deal with each other in person. Where because if they sit down in person, my God, you might actually realize like, hey, we disagree on stuff, but we can sit here and have an intelligent conversation about it. And I think they don't want to do that.
And then the final
two guys that are very prideful, you're not going to sit down and find a common ground.
Now, the final sentence that was in this article, Micah says, this is what Ryan Clark says. I roll down the window and I say, what's up, guys? Arthur Smith kind of speaks. Aaron Rodgers looks at me and he doesn't say anything. Kept walking. I think it's funny.
I think it's funny, too.
Like
I have a situation like going that at work with one of my co-managers. I just talk to everyone else and he stands right there and I don't talk to him.
Yeah.
So I get to where they're two coming from.
I've been there. RB says Clark's a smart guy. That's why he makes it unbearable. He says dumb shit on purpose that he don't believe to make his masters happy and create buzz.
Gotta whoever signs the paycheck, you gotta keep happy.
That's what they tell you. That's
why I never make Ryan happy because he don't sign the paychecks. Somehow I keep not getting paid.
Hey.
But yeah, I see.
And that's keeping me happy. So,
and I see you and Derpy rolling around in Lexis
right.
or whatever they are.
I take my private helicopter up there at Derpy's house.
I'm rolling around in a Chevy Nova. I don't even know if Chevy made the Nova.
Mike, I want to get into because this is something that we really wouldn't have done prior to this, but I do want to go over this week's games because guess what? They're important this week, Mike. Unlike any time over the past month that we've watched football, these are going to be the games that matter. Baltimore's games are going to matter. Cincinnati's games are going to matter. And guess what? Even Buffalo and Kansas City and all these teams, it ultimately matters when it all comes down to it. Mike, so I am going to pull up the NFL schedule for the season.
Yeah.
We'll kind of go through this real quick. We don't have to do any predictions or anything like this. We'll get to that later in the week.
Yeah.
Finch is going to be by later in the week. We have some things going on. So we'll get to all that. But let's go over the schedule for the week just to see what we have going out there, guys. The NFL schedule kicks off and gets started on Thursday night at 8:20 in the NFC East matchup between the Eagles and the Cowboys, which, again, guys, if you're a football fan, that should be a hell of a game. Certainly one to watch with a lot of new players, moves that happen in the offseason and such. Guys, it kicks off Thursday, Mike. I think, again, even not as a fan of either of these teams, I'll be watching just because it's as good NFL football. It's meaningful. And, again, this is going to be one that matters. And key Cowboys and Eagles, not a bad start.
Not a bad start. And, I was thinking, oh, man, this game was already huge. But then you add in the fact that, okay, Dallas has traded away Micah Parsons a week before this game. What's your defense going to look like now going up against the
same without Micah Parsons?
Yeah, it's going to be different, though. He was like the guy that you had to know where he was every snap. Now you don't have to worry about that. What are they going to do? How's Philly going to react after, the Super Bowl hangover? So this is a good one. And
because they did shit the bed, not last year, but the year before. Remember, they fell apart. They lost to Green Bay in the first round or whatever in the playoffs. Mike, then we're going to get to Friday, because there is a Friday game as well. That's right, the AFC West, Mike, as the Chiefs and the Chargers. Again, another good game that I would not mind watching. Yep. Chiefs, again, the Super Bowl champions, the Chargers, a team that I go on and on about, Mike, about improving more and more every year. So Friday night at 8 o'clock, we do have NFL football as well. The Chiefs at the Chargers. Then we roll into Sunday, and this is where all the magic happens, baby.
Oh, yeah, baby.
First, the 1 o'clock games look like this. The Dolphins at the Colts. Mike, I got to be honest with you. I want to tell you this. I kind of scoured. I went through the games here, and I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to probably do the picks with you this year. These games aren't easy this week.
No, they're not.
And pretty much every game is going to be a difficult game to pick. And especially being the first game of the year, you don't know what you're going to get from teams and what performance and what lack thereof. So, Mike, just kind of pay attention and keep that in mind as we go through these games. This is not going to be an easy week to pick games.
No, it's not. And, real quick, I know we're not going through them all, but, I'm just looking at the betting odds. Indy's a 1.5-point favorite over Miami. Yeah, I know it's at home for Indy, but that's a strange line for me right there.
Miami's just not good. They're always perceived to be good.
Yeah.
What team is they stink.
But like
They have a couple players, and it's like, oh, this team. No, Miami stinks. They always stink. They're never good. I don't even. When was the last time this team made the playoffs? I think we knocked them out. As a matter of fact, the last time they did, Mike, this Miami team is garbage. It is hot garbage. It's been for a long time. I can't imagine any different.
Yeah, but like Indy with their shitty quarterback situation, it's just that's an interesting money line to me, right there.
All right, let's move on, Mike. The Panthers at the Jaguars, like a rematch of the expansion game back in, what was it, 95? Jaguars hosting the Panthers. I can't imagine that this would be a great one to watch, but it would be a hard one to pick, Mike.
It's going to be a hard one. In the Jags, I saw just as we were coming out there, their rookie starting tackle just had an appendectomy. So they got some they got a big hole to fill on that line. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. Yeah. Had a dick to me. And then, Adam Thielen traded from Carolina.
Also, the Cardinals at the Saints. Not much intriguing there, but it should be a hard one to pick. Cardinals and Saints. This is 1:00. Next 1:00 game, like the Giants at Commanders. NFC East, again, this team that just was in the NFC Championship game last year with the Commanders. And this Giants team, some different players this year, some changes made. I would easily take Washington in this game if I'm betting it. But again, NFC East, it's a rivalry. It's going to be a showdown, and who knows what kind of finish they'll have in the NFC East.
Yeah, and the front four that the Giants have on paper, adding Abdul Carter this year to the Sexy Dexy and a couple of the other guys, that has potential to be one of the best front fours we've seen in a long time. So it's going to be fun to watch. And can they get to Jaden Daniels?
Mike, the Buccaneers, they travel to Atlanta to take on the Falcons in week 1. The Buccaneers at Atlanta, two teams are roughly the same. I like the quarterback situation in Tampa Bay a lot more. I'm going to take Tampa Bay in this one, Mike. But again, AFC South, you never know what's going to go on with these teams in that division. So hopefully maybe that'll be a good game as well. Mike, another 1:00 game that's going to grab your attention, though, is the Ohio teams. The Cincinnati Bengals travel to Cleveland for the opening game of the season, Mike. That's kind of again, if you're trying to schedule things and make things attractive, and, you put these two teams that somewhat mirror each other in a weird kind of way, both from Ohio, against one another, same division, AFC North. This could be a good game, Mike, and I got to be honest, I'm going to pick Cincinnati when it comes down to it. But to be honest, I can imagine either one of these teams finding a way to win this football game.
Yeah. We're going to see how good that Cleveland defense is. And, you're paying Myles Garrett all that money. Yeah. Is he going to let off now that he's secured that big bag, or is he going to go out there?
I haven't seen Myles Garrett let off on anything. He's a badass, dude.
He is. I would love to have him in the black and gold, but I'm going to talk shit on him because he was with the Browns.
Right.
But him against that Cincinnati offensive line, that's going to be it's going to be fun to watch.
That's what I'm saying. This is an interesting game.
Because that right there alone, he could be the one who swings the balance of that game.
So I said, this could be a good one. Like these two Ohio teams, I always like this game because I'm an AFC North guy. I can see how people wouldn't be into it if they're not from our division, not from any of these cities. But I tend to like this game. It's always kind of interesting and intriguing, again, because we're all in the same division and it plays a part of what we have going on. So my game after that is the Raiders at the Patriots. The Tom Brady's tuck rule was a Patriot Raider game in the snow, Mike. This game, once again, the Raiders, the new look with the new coach, new everything, basically, traveling to New England. That's also a 1:00, Mike. The Steelers game is a 1:00, but we'll touch on that last. For the first 4:05 game, the NFC West, the 49ers at Seattle. Going to be a game that we're going to be keeping our eye on, Mike, because after this week, we get Seattle at home. So we're taking a close look at a struggling roster with San Francisco going to Seattle. Right. I think it should kind of give us a bit of a litmus test of what we're going to get from Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle, Sam Darnold with Devontae Adams, I think, and Cooper Kupp out there. That's going to is that their core?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's going to be fun to watch because that's going to be a huge test for our secondary in week 2. But I want to see, what's Brock Purdy going to do now that he has no weapons?
Yeah, interesting.
Like everyone is out with gunshot wounds or knee injuries out there. So.
Why is everybody that's out on San Francisco gunshot wounds? Mike, the next game on the list is the Titans at the Broncos. I say the Broncos win this game because the Broncos are an up-and-coming team. They have some things going on with the quarterback position, of course, with Bo Nix. What he was able to do as a rookie with this Broncos team, like they have some elite players on the defense, of course, some people that we would have loved to pluck from that defense. I'm going to again, we'll do picks later in the week when Finch is around, but Mike, Titans, Tennessee at Denver.
Okay. What a hell of a game for Cam Ward to start against one of the best defenses in the NFL. Good luck, kid.
And that's going to be the intriguing part, I think.
Godspeed, brother.
Next game, Mike, a big game, Mike, in the first week. This is a 425. This is NFC North. So and we went on and on all offseason about this division. The Lions, the Packers, the Vikings, all double digits last year, all making it to the playoffs last year, all losing their first game in the playoffs last year, Mike. So I expect one of these three teams to come out really hungry, whether it shows whether it shows by putting up a 14-3, 15-2 record like these teams were doing. I don't know, but one of these teams are going to come back really hungry, Mike. I expect the Lions, the Packers, or the Vikings to make a run in the playoffs come January, but to kick it off on Sunday at 425, the Lions at Packers, this should be a really good game.
Should be a really good game. You like Micah Parsons at Green Bay, all the wide receivers at Green Bay. How are they going to use them? Detroit, new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. What are they going to look like? So, damn, it's good. This one might be the best of the 425 games.
Like there's a lot of good football. We're not even through them yet. There's still more good games on the list, Mike. This next one, not so much. I don't really care about these two teams. The Texans at the Rams. They both have things here and there that we could talk about, but for the most part, I don't follow these two teams. This is probably one of my least favorite games of the week, Mike.
Well, this one right here is going to be telling. L.A. Rams, Matthew Stafford with the back injury that no one knows how severe it is. And that's a big question mark hanging over them. It's not getting talked out about a lot. How well is he going to perform? And then we're going to see how good this Houston offensive line is because the Rams got some damn good players on that front four.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we'll go with that.
I'll find some storylines for you, brother.
Like also the late game on Sunday night is going to be in another game that we're going to be paying close attention to as the Ravens travel to Baltimore. Guys, a lot of people are calling this the AFC Championship this year. You know what happens when, again, Mike, we said last week, I hate getting that first game of the year where you could actually go out and play a good team and it doesn't work in your favor. We had it against the Ravens in the past. They came out and beat us up in the first game of the season. We had it against San Francisco just a couple seasons ago where they came out. I'd rather start off with a cupcake game, Mike, but in the NFL this week, the Ravens travel to Buffalo to take on one another. 8:20 Sunday night football. After watching football all weekend, we're going to still be paying close attention because these two teams are a big part of the roadblocks that we're going to have to face this year to get to where we want to get.
Yeah, and right now, those are the two of the three big dogs in the AFC. Let them beat the shit out of each other.
Okay, yeah, I'm down.
Oh, yeah.
And finally, Mike, the Monday Night Football game, not such an intriguing one, but I think maybe with the names on these teams, it could play out well for a Monday night. Caleb Williams, Chicago Bears will be hosting J.J. McCarthy's Minnesota Vikings, Mike. There's two really young quarterbacks, two guys that could potentially big quarterbacks in this league one day. Again, Mike, the youngest starting quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, Caleb Williams, Vikings at Bears, Monday night to wrap up week one.
Yeah, that might not be that bad of a game. I like what the Bears have been doing the past couple of off seasons. They finally addressed their offensive line this year after going out and getting all the skill position players instead of building their line first. Now they realize, we need an offensive line to actually see what we have. So that's going to be fun. And what the hell is Minnesota going to do if Justin Jefferson isn't healthy for this game? It's going to be fun to watch.
This is going to be another one that we as Steeler fans are going to want to pay attention to. This is the division, that we play in the NFC. We get the NFC North, so it wouldn't be a bad idea to keep an eye on what these two teams are going to do Monday night, because we do play both of them this year, one just in 3 weeks in Ireland. And then finally, Mike, the game that the Pittsburgh Steelers play, we've talked about a little bit, I guess you could say, in the past 7.5 months. The Steelers at the New York Jets at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Excuse me, 1 o'clock on Sunday. Mike, the Steelers, the black and gold, kick it off. They had the names of they know the announcers. You know what? I was going to write it down and say who the announcers and everything was going to be, but I doubt anybody cares. But it's on, Mike. Everything is set. All we have to do now is just get there. What is it? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 5 days in a wake up, Mike. That is all. And we're going to be kicking it off. Steelers at Jets, week 1, 5 days, 1 wake up.
I can't wait. I can't. I'm ready to see these guys go out there and just beat the ever living hell out of the New York Jets. I need to see it happen.
We kind of need this. We need a win. We need a big win. We need a good strong start. I think just the Steeler fans to put a little win in ourselves. But again, guys, we sat around all off season, talk Steeler football. So I think the Steeler fans are ready for this just as much as anybody. Mike, let's jump back on the board. I'm going to go right here to where Jen says, "Oh, but Roger says Bradshaw would change his mind if he got to know him, but he ignored Clark." These guys are getting goofy.
I love it. You know? I love it. I love petty beefs.
Jamal says Austin is a peewee. LOL. Got to be tough to play NFL receiver though, so I rock with him. I do too, but man, there's just not been much time where he hasn't been injured, and that's going to be a concern. I think moving forward, probably for his duration here. He was out his entire first season. He's injured now. I mean, he's back at it. He's practicing and everything. But again, being that small, just again, I don't know if you overuse this guy, Mike, not just because he's small, but because he does have that history.
Yeah. And I want him out there because you know what he can do. But at the same time, I get what you're saying. You don't want him out there a whole lot because you don't want to risk that injury. You got to thread the needle with that guy.
Yeah, you do got to thread the needle with him. Like, and I'm just wondering how many guys on this team are the same way, being that we lose a rookie every year for the duration. I mean, this year, obviously, we haven't lost a rookie for the duration, but losing Derek Harmon early, certainly it brings back some memories, Mike. But a lot of people, I'm just wondering how stable are we as far as staying healthy, because we haven't seen the team stay healthy over the past 5 years, and there's a lot of question marks at this point. So maybe getting through the first 4 or 5 games of the season without dealing with any injuries might start making people feel better. But at this point, you just don't know. You don't know. You hate to see it. And again, unfortunately, it's always so early in the season. A guy gets out hurt for the year. It's the first, second, third game of the year, and you missed them all year. So again, keep our fingers crossed on that, guys. I don't want to lose CA3 at all.
No.
Big part, and again, he's part of the wide receiver core that some people might say, you know what they're saying. Let's move on, Mike, on the board. Also, Derpy's Aunt Peach is still sticking around. Great. We're glad to have you,
man. Yeah.
She says, "Oh, Finch, I love to taste some of that sweet treat."
Whoa, Peaches.
Peaches
is just going after everyone on the show.
I'm going to be honest with you.
She gets around.
I've known Finch for a long time, and I can honestly say I never heard anybody refer to him as a sweet treat, but I'm sure he'll be flattered by that. Peaches will certainly pass on the good word. Also, RB says we should set up a board pick'em league.
I like that idea.
I like it.
I'm not going to lie, RB, I'm kind of researching how to do that right now.
He was researching Schindler's List over the weekend because he was creating lists with your guys' names from last Friday. I don't know what the hell he was doing. But,
everyone has their own special number. It's purely coincidental.
We'll be
the tattoo needles.
Yeah, we'll be handing out the RFID chips before you know it. Jen says, "Did you see that young girl burning Hill?"
Oh yeah, at the was it one of the football camps or something? She fucking put the moves on him and went by him, or is it the foot race one? I can't remember which.
I don't know. I did not see. That's interesting. That is interesting. Derpy's Aunt Peaches says, "Ryan turning me on, talking good about my brownies. Thanks." They're always going to be one of my favorite teams because they're so terrible and they're so fun. They're such a disaster to make fun of. They're so fun to make fun of because they're such a disaster. But yes, Aunt Peaches, that's right. Cleveland and Ohio State, bringing in all that stuff. Usually Derpy brings the Ohio State madness, Mike, but not today. Aunt Peaches.
Not today. Aunt Peaches is coming in strong.
And Jamal says, if I don't have anything at all, I got my Steelers family. Love you guys. And we love you too, my man. It is, this is, guys, being able to have this conversation with everybody and getting ready for Steelers, it's certainly something that we look forward to as well. And very excited to see everybody. And again, we all, are the same people in a sense. And we're all excited about our football team. And we're just all kind of waiting to get there, Mike. But again, 7.5 months is finally done. It is finally Jets week. It is finally opening week 1 of the NFL, Mike. Guys are back to practice today, getting ready for the Jets. And again, Mike, there's still going to be things that happen between now and this weekend. Of course, it's slim and pickings when it comes down to what there may still be out there as far as wide receivers. But Omar Khan has been hard at work, to say the least, this offseason, Mike. So I wouldn't rule anything out at this point. And I'm ready. We are 5 days and what is it? 5 days in a sleep, or is it 6 days in a sleep? Whatever it is.
5 days in a wake up.
5 days in a wake. Jamal says, hey, if we really do want a franchise quarterback out of this draft, Will Howard looks just as good as the prospects from what I've seen. You're right. The top prospects hasn't looked great yet. But one thing I'm going to say, though, Jamal, is it was week 1. Let's let this play out for a little bit. I'm not throwing the idea of Will Howard out. I'm not. But let's just keep our eyes on some of these guys. Again, I like Lenora Sellers from South Carolina. Mike brought him to my attention about 6 months ago, and I've fallen in love with his highlights. And again, Mike, also he's being compared to Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts. So a couple of guys, they do a lot of winning in this league. I like him. I like Mike. The guy moves. He has good size, and once he takes off, there's no catching him. He's gone. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, but you can see he has some mechanical issues that can work on. If he works on them, my God, that the accuracy will improve so much more with him. I was watching one ex-quarterback break him down. He was like, just little footwork things. Just get a coach to work with him. And like RB said, coaches don't want to do that. So I wonder if this dude might in the offseason hire himself his own quarterback coach.
Well, as I mentioned, Mike, he's hard to take down in the pocket. And then, if he could stand back and become a quarterback who could throw the ball around, and then if he has to break out of the pocket, as I said, he turns into a wide receiver once he gets in the open field. The guy's speed was amazing. When I seen this, Mike, again, Jamal saying on the board, Lenore Sellers is the only quarterback I would want. Reminds me of Justin Fields, though. You know what? I haven't seen him enough to say, but I'm going to take your word on that. But again, from what I've seen, I've seen the highlights. Maybe if I watch the low lights, maybe I might get a different picture. But from the highlights, I'm happy with what I'm seeing. Like, certainly better than Arch on the foot that he started off on this year, of course, being a big name. People were already calling Arch a bust, which we did cover earlier on the show, and I explained why it's probably too early to call him a bust. But again, you don't know. Mike, again, we'll get more into college football as it does continue to move on. But Lenora Sellers, guys, is somebody that I kind of jumped on that bandwagon, Mike, especially with the Arch Manning talk kind of going south a little bit, and nobody knows what he's going to do. He might not be even coming out this year. He might not even be able to come. He might not be coming out next year. And again, he still has 11 regular season games to play this year before we can even get a feel for what it is that we're getting. He didn't get the cupcake game that a lot of people get to help you kind of get the blood flowing. He jumped right in a game against the team that's number 1 right now in the Ohio State Buckeyes. So again, I give him that. I'm a fair person. I will give him those 11 games, and we'll assess it in due time. I know it didn't look good. Arch Manning is terrible. It didn't look good. I give him that. I give you that. It didn't look good.
It's a long season.
And what your next comment is, I couldn't agree with you even more. He's not ready to come out, and again, he almost played as bad of a game as Peyton Manning did in his first start in college. So again, got to kind of keep these kind of things into perspective as well. There's a lot of football left for this kid to be played. Mike, ain't this why they play the game? This is why they play the game. A couple of things, Mike. We are going to start getting ready to wrap it up as we're rounding third here, Mike. Just want to say it again. The Pitt Panthers did beat Duquesne 61-9 in the city game. First time these two teams have played in since I think 60 some years, Mike. And they're less than 2 miles apart from one another. Kind of crazy. Pitt doesn't schedule this cupcake game more often. Maybe they will in the future. But Mike, one of the other teams is Robert Morris, who's on the other side. They're in Moon Township. They went down and they got spanked by West Virginia. So they're following the method as well. Mike, they went down there. West Virginia killed them. We get West Virginia in 2 weeks. But I do feel bad because West Virginia did put a beating on Robert Morris, which is, again, another one of our colleges here. But that did happen as well. Penn State, they did get the win, Mike. They beat Nevada 46-11.
Powerhouse.
They'll be hosting FIU at Penn State Saturday at noon, while Pitt is hosting Central Michigan Saturday at noon as well.
Two tough games right there, boys.
The other football team here in town, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, they fall to the Tampa Bay Rowdies in professional soccer. Mike, they travel to play the Oakland Roots soccer team on Sunday at 4:00 p.m. And finally, the Pittsburgh Pirates were the hottest team in baseball. Just last night, Mike, winning 8 of their last 10. What was it, 23 of their last 37, something like this. Mike, this team, they lose to the Red Sox, but they win the series. They go up to Boston and steal the series 2-1. The Pirates are 61-77 with the 5-2 loss. Mike, they now come home to host the LA Dodgers for 3. Tomorrow's game, 1 of 3 at 6:40. Mike, you know these Dodgers, somehow the Pittsburgh Pirates tend to be the only team that could figure them out. Again, the Dodgers record versus everybody, and then the Dodgers record versus the Pirates is like the Ravens record versus everybody, and then the Ravens record versus the Steelers. I don't get it. Pirates just somehow figure out how to beat these Dodgers, Mike, starting that series tomorrow.
We always find a way against them. If only we could, actually beat everyone else consistently, that would be awesome.
Mike, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about the website?
The2dumbyinzers.com. Check it out, everyone. It's over there, our merch store, all of our social media links. The Dumb Thoughts. New one will be out this week about the upcoming game against the Stellars and the Jets, baby. Check it out at the2dumbyinzers.com. And also, I did just set up the Pick'em League. So, link below if you want to get into the football Pick'em. It's set up. We've got a 2 Dumb Yinzers league for anyone here on the show. So, yeah, check it out.
All right, we'll do this, Mike, and then kind of explain to people what's going on with this, too. Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, hold on. Let's hold on.
Yeah.
All right, Mike. So there you go. Go check it out. www.the2dumbyinzers.com. www.the2dumbyinzers.com. Lots of cool things over there. Go check it out, everybody. Time for the question of the day. Mike, it is Jets week, so this is going to be Jets questions. How well do you know your enemy? How well do you know your opponent? This is the question of the day. Mike, put on your thinking cap. Everybody on the board, everybody at home, here we go. The Jets were founded as the Titans in 1959. The Jets won the Super Bowl in 1969. What year did they become the Jets? Let me ask it again. The Jets were founded as the New York Titans in 1959. The New York Jets won the Super Bowl as the Jets in 1969. 10-year difference. What year did they become the Jets? Take a minute to think that over, guys. We're live five days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every day right here on the tube. On the tube, Mike.
On the tube, bro. On the tube.
So, guys, question of the day. The Jets were founded as the Titans in 1959. The Jets won the Super Bowl with the New York Jets in 1969. A 10-year difference. 10 years after being a team. But what year did they become the Jets? 59, the Titans, 69, Super Bowl win. What year did they become the Jets? Mike, what's your thought process on this question?
I'm going to go with 1960 just because it feels good.
So only one season is the Titans and then the rest is the Jets?
Yeah.
Okay, is this your final answer?
Final answer.
All right, I'm going to lock Mike in. Derpy's Aunt Peach is asking what the trivia. The winner of the trivia actually gets Derpy. Derpy. We send Derpy to your house for the weekend, and he does Derpy things, and we got a laugh out of it in video, and we'll talk about it. So there you go. Everybody's going to be answering terribly wrong, I'm guessing.
I don't know, Peaches. If you win, I'm the prize.
Mark Malone says Derpy's Aunt Peach's glory hole privileges at Derpy's midget house. Question of the day, guys. question of the day, guys. The Jets were founded as the Titans in 1959. They won the Super Bowl as the Jets in 1969. What year did they become the Jets? Mike, you had said they became the Jets in 1960, just 1 year after becoming the Titans. Hold on, I got to get Derpy's message. Derpy's aunt's mom. Derpy's aunt Peach's question real quick. She's since Derpy is the prize that you win. Derpy's aunt said, well, he's had his shots. He doesn't spray as much anymore, and he may or may not have body lice.
May or may not have body lice.
So there you go, guys. Answer accordingly. Mike, but the question of the day is this. The Jets were founded in 59 as the Titans. They won a Super Bowl in 69. What year? And you said they turned into the Jets in 1960, Mike. The final answer, of course, is 1963. 1963. They were just a few seasons as the Titans, but Mike, just 6 seasons after they became the Jets, they did go win a very improbable winning Super Bowl, Mike, by beating Johnny Unitas and a very strong Baltimore Colts team on Joe Namath's prediction, which basically is what put him in the Hall of Fame. I'm pretty convinced that that's what got him there. But you know what? I'm here for it. I like Joe. He's from across the river. I have nothing good things to say, but there you go, guys. Derpy's Aunt Peaches says, "Oh, Mark, sugar, please come find my glory." Man, I got to be honest with you. It's been quite a Labor Day. It's been great having Derpy's Aunt Peaches on the board. Mike, a few things before we do get ready to wrap it up here. Kennywood, the amusement park, Mike, they are doing away with 21 plus night. 2 weekends in a row, they had 21 plus night, of course, referring to your age, where only adults can go hang out at Kennywood. Mike, there was big, huge fights both of the weekends so far. Kennywood is shutting down. Kennywood 21 and plus night. Mike, how ridiculously retarded is this that grown-ups can't just go and hang out and not get into big fights? And Mike, they shut it down. This was supposed to be something so people could go out and have something to do.
Yeah, idiots.
Unbelievable.
Idiots.
Also, Mike, the guy at the tennis match that stole that kid's hat.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's seen this, but it's kind of viral right now. This guy, I wasn't following. I don't even know who the guy is, but he's a tennis player. He was signing autographs, doing things for fans. He takes his hat and he hands it to the kid, and a grown man. Apparently, the guy was a billionaire. From what I'm hearing, I don't know if this is a rumor, but apparently the guy's a billionaire. He's like an owner of something. He snatches the hat from the kid, basically, as the tennis player is handing him the hat, and he turns around, hands it to somebody, and continues to celebrate. This kid his face is red. He's about to cry. I felt terrible for this little guy. Again, they're certainly making the guy known on the internet. His face is everywhere, and there's video of him stealing this kid's hat. So, what do you do? I had a similar situation like this, Mike. A guy, I had Joe Hayden's gloves in my hand one time, and this Cleveland Brown fan, he hip tossed me. I shit you not. My legs were flipping around through the air. It was I'm in Brown's section.
Yeah,
where we sat, we went down because usually the Steelers and the opposing teams they'll hand
that's
gloves.
your real team. Don't lie. So
me and the guy I was there with, we were sitting right above the Browns, so we ran down where the Browns were coming, and Joe Hayden handed his gloves up for for somebody to have, and I went to grab him, and his big fat Cleveland Brown fan, he just tossed me. He hip tossed me. My legs were, like I said, I was flipping through the air, and I look up and there's just all these people in Browns gear just staring at me. So I didn't make a big thing of it. I mean, what the hell is I going to do at that point? And as soon as you do something, the police or the security see you and they throw your ass out.
Oh, yeah.
You're in the Brown section. You're causing problems. So I didn't cause a thing. But, yeah, it gets rough down there. But this kid, again, this tennis player goes to give him his hat as a souvenir for the match. And the billionaire steals it. And, again, guys, pretty viral. You'll probably see his face a million times, I'm guessing. As we do move forward, Mike, because that was kind of a pretty shitty thing. At least the Browns fan, we were both adults, and this was a little kid. And again, you can see he was pretty upset really, really fast.
Yeah. Fuck them kids. No, really, that was a dick move to do.
Mike, your Schindler's List. Okay, now you're gonna have to explain to me what this is. Now you were all excited about this list you were working on, and I didn't even know what you were talking about. You know what? I kind of thought I'll wait till Monday to hear what this is The premises, Mike. What is this list you're working on?
I'm having it started Friday. Y'all ragging on your 12-day weekends. You all made the enemy list. And then, a couple people made the friend list because they were being nice to Vanilla Thunder. So I'm starting my own list on the show. I'm having my enemy list like Richard Nixon. You don't want to be on that list. And then I'm having my friend list. And I was going to originally call it my Epstein list because all my buddies are on there. But I was advised by legal that we should not do it. So we will be calling it Schindler's List from now on. So Schindler's List, and we got the Nixon list.
What qualifies someone to be on a list? I don't know if I'm understanding the premise.
When RB was bragging about his 5-day weekend, he went on to the enemy list. But once he started saying he had some homemade liquor, he dropped down the enemy list and was almost up on the friend list. It's just
now. Is this actually a real tangible list, or is this just something that you're keeping track of in your head?
Oh, it's going to be tangible. I'm going to have a list. Okay. It won't change how I act to you, but you just don't want to be on the list.
All right, there you go,
I'm
everybody.
Trying to have some fun during the show sometimes. Break it up a little bit.
There you go, Schindler's List, everybody. Be careful, you're going to end up on Schindler's List. Let's see this. Who wins Derpy? I can come sweeten the. There you go. Derpy's Aunt Peaches is saying that she could come sweeten the pot if you win Derpy through the competition. I think that is enough for me, guys. So good luck winning Derpy in the future. Jen says then the guy shoves the hat in his wife's part. Yeah. Shoves the hat in his wife's part. Like, it was such a dickhead move.
It was too.
I couldn't believe it. And as I said, the kid's complaining and crying. His face is red and. Jen says, Ryan, baby, I could hit
and Peaches and Jen, what is going on?
I know. I don't think we should allow these two in the same room anymore. I'm to be honest.
My God.
John says Schindler's List. Mike, what about you? Anything if we do get ready to wrap it up for the day, man? It is.
I think John's on his way on to being on to the Nixon list. Schindler's List comment.
Also,
there's
like
only
high school,
two of them showing here, but come on now.
Also, high school football did kick off week one this week. They had week 0 last week. Mike, Aliquippa, a big win, 42-7 over Belle Vernon. We know this is a big game here. We did talk about briefly last week. And also one other thing, Aliquippa related, Mike, in the Pitt game, Cam Lindsey, Aliquippa, a star that plays for Pitt, Mike, he did get a sack this weekend.
Nice.
In the big win. So good for him, good for them. A lot of good stuff happened this weekend, Mike, and it's only going to get better. We have the NFL. This is week 1. Again, the guys are back to practice today, getting ready for the Jets Sunday at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Guys, it's finally here. We did this. We stuck it out with one another. As we're saying on the board a little bit, guys. This this is our thing. We got ready all off season together. We're going to go into it together. And Mike, it's going to be a big one. Again, who knows what's going to happen? We want the best. We're expecting the best. I think 7-10 is ridiculous. I think that there's no chance. I think we go out, we beat the Jets, Mike. I think a lot of good things. We'll get into that in a lot more as this week goes on, as we head into the opening weekend, Mike, to kick off the NFL season for our Pittsburgh Steelers. I do want to say thank you, everybody, for coming and hanging out and checking us out today. We appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. We wouldn't do it without you. Thank you so much, everybody, as always. Also, I do want to say thank you, everybody, on the terrible board. You guys are always great and always keep things interesting on this show. You truly do. Thank you so much. And everybody at home as well, maybe in the car, maybe at the gym, maybe just listening in your earbuds. Thank you, too. We appreciate everybody, and we cannot wait to take with our team. This is our team. Like, we're heading into the opening weekend of the football season. We're taking our team. We're going to kick some ass on the way. Again, guys, we'll be on this all week long, scraping up any details we can from the team, getting ready to head up to New York. Mike, I also do want to say, if you get a chance, go check out our social media pages. We have presence on Facebook, on X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. If you get a chance, swing by one of or all of our social media pages. Hit the follow button to keep up with what the two dumb Yinzers are doing on a day-to-day basis. And finally, if you haven't had a chance yet, hit the like, sub, and share buttons down below. It helps us out a lot. We greatly appreciate it. Mike, anything before we wrap it up for today?
Yeah, like RB was saying, we should come up with like a pick'em league. I
Yes,
set
tell me a
one
little bit
up.
about this.
Yeah, I set one up. I had the link in the board. I'll post it here again. I got the link posted over on the website. So if you want to hop on in, it's free to play. It's just for the members of the two dumb Yinzers. So check it out, everyone. And you just pick your game every week. It's set up and ready to go. So
And
feel
we'll
free to
talk more
jump in,
about
have some fun.
like we'll talk more about it tomorrow, and we'll get into it that way. If people have any questions, if people
Yeah.
just have any concerns. But yes, so Mike got that set up. Go check it out if you get a chance. Again, we'll talk more about it maybe as we kick off the show tomorrow to kind of get people acclimated. And if anybody wants to participate, you certainly can. It can be a lot of fun. Great idea by RB. Maybe RB. You know what? I think the game ball kind of has to go between RB and Derpy's Aunt Peaches today on the terrible board, Mike. But everybody played a great game as always. We definitely got the win today,
Yes.
guys. Mike, anything else, my man? Speak now or forever hold your peace, my friend.
Ah, it was a great show, everyone. Let's do this again tomorrow. I got an appointment with Cinnamon to get to.
All right. Hopefully, again, thank you to Derpy's Aunt Peaches. Hopefully, we see her back, Mike. That was quite a surprise, I have to say.
Yeah, it
I
was.
do want to say thank you for taking time out of your Labor Day, everybody, to come hang out with us.
Yes.
We certainly appreciate it. I hope everybody has a safe holiday, a safe rest of your day. As Mike said, we'll be back tomorrow at our regular time to do it all over again. Get ready for this Pittsburgh Steelers season to kick off this Sunday against the Jets. Mike, my friend, I think that's it on my side. You're good. All right,
Good,
everybody.
brother.
For Mike, a.k.a. Vanilla Thunder, in the Steelers Central Mobile Studio, myself, the two dumb Yinzers, everybody have a great Labor Day, and we'll see everybody tomorrow.